Welcome to the Odd.bos Powwow Sports Podcast. Today, before we start our show, we'd like to send our thoughts and prayers out to Fort McMurray. There's been a flood there due to snow melt.
Yeah.
So we'd like to send our thoughts and prayers out to them, and we'd like you as our viewers to do the same. So now today we're going to be discussing two of the all-time great point guards, Steph Curry and Magic Johnson. So without further ado, let's get into it. Steph Curry revolutionized the way modern basketball is played. Even guys like LeBron James, who historically aren't good shooters, are now shooting three balls. All players now at the point guard position have to be above average three-point shooters. And because of the way Golden State played and because of the way Steph Curry played, now ideally everyone goes small. Like, look at the way Boston Celtics play.
Well, I think Magic Johnson, to me, is a better player in general. He's one of the greatest point guard. So it's not even a comparison between these two. It's like a man versus a baby. So if there's anything you want to add or you want to defend your man, please, you start. Since you lost the last one, so I'll give you a chance to redeem yourself.
The public, most
say it loud and proud.
No, because the old heads, they just argue. They don't want to they don't want to respect the facts. That's all it is.
Let's clarify that.
Old heads. They just have sit.
The last episode, Dennis Rodman versus Draymond. I smoke his ass.
No, it's just old heads that talk. People can't get over it. It's the same people that say Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James. It is what it is. The future players are better. It's the same people that say Floyd Mayweather isn't as good as Muhammad Ali. Why would I admit it? Draymond Green is a better player than Dennis Rodman.
You keep collecting these garbage players, man. I'm telling you, man. Let me teach you how to identify great players. Right now, today, Steph Curry versus Magic. I pick Magic because he's not just a player, man. I don't even consider him a player, man. He's an iconic entertainer. You know, when people come to see you, not your team. That's what it means, Magic. You know, when you do something like special thing when people never seen before, right? That's what Magic to me. He's a better. See how great Magic was, man. He was a how can I put it in a simple word for the small-minded people to understand? He was a better playmaker, defender, rim protector, rebounder, leadership, basketball IQ. He was a general on the floor, man. You don't need just like you don't need a coach when you have LeBron. You don't need a coach or a general manager when you have Magic. It's like a car that drives by himself. So please defend your man, because I felt bad for you, man, after the last episode. So please redeem yourself.
It's hard to say that Magic Johnson is a better rim protector or anything like that than Steph Curry because neither of them are good defenders. Like they're average defenders for their position. That, like, at best, they're not elite defenders or anything like that. So let's not get ahead of ourselves there. But secondly, yes, being what you said about Magic Johnson, I can't dispute that he was a very good floor general, right? He was an entertainer. But what about Steph Curry? Stephen Curry is an electrifying entertainer. He can drop 20 on you in 5 minutes without you even knowing what's happening. The way him and Golden State play, it revolutionized the way they played basketball. The introduction of the death lineup and then bringing Kevin Durant over and having the Hamptons 5 changed the game completely. Not just that. No superstar ever has blended volume and efficiency the way Steph Curry has. The only person that's comparable would be Kevin Durant. And even then, Curry's...
what?
In terms of efficiency and volume? In scoring?
Because when you have, like, 3 or, if you count Draymond, 4 Hall of Famer in your team, it's easy to score. Period.
I'm talking about even before they got Kevin Durant. It wasn't like Curry had his MVP 50, 40, 90 season before Kevin Durant came, where he had 30 points. No one's ever scored that many points on that level of efficiency. Not just that, Curry is the greatest shooter of all time, the greatest three-point shooter of all time. And anybody who says otherwise, you already know they're biased, they're an old head. They just don't want to accept the facts. Like, anyone who says he's not the greatest shooter of all time is flawed in their way of thinking. So, you want to argue your next point or what?
Who's a better playmaker? Curry averaged 6.6 assists per game. On the other hand, one of the greatest point guard ever played this beautiful game, 11.2 assists per game. I mean, when you think about iconic passes, you know, those pinpoint passes, impossible pinpoint passes, you think about Magic. It's like Jesus playing on the floor.
Blasphemy.
Comparing to Steph, it's like, you know, when Stephen explained when he was talking about Call Me Brown, a bona fide scrub. Period. Defend your man, please, man.
Curry isn't as good as a playmaker as Magic Johnson, but when you bring the things Curry does bring to the table, you can think of Curry as more like a star in your solar system with the gravity that he brings, just the way that he breaks down defenses, just by him being on the floor, just the way all defenses have to warp around him. That kind of makes him a good playmaker because just the way everything opens up for his other teammates. Klay Thompson wouldn't be what he is today. He would still be a magnificent shooter. But think about all open looks he gets because Steph Curry's on the floor. Draymond Green wouldn't be as helpful in a system without a Steph Curry. And look at Kevin Durant, same thing. These open shots you get now is because I would rather my team double Steph Curry at half court than I would for Kevin Durant because I know Kevin Durant's not pulling up from the logo. And even if he did, I don't think he would make it. Curry on the hand, he passes half court. It's like this guy might drop some shit on us. So, argue your next point, sir.
I mean, if you compare the individual stat, Curry has 2 MVP. Probably the one thing is better than Magic's, like the anonymous MVP that he got, and 73-9 win, 3 titles in 5 years. But Magic got 5 titles, 3 final MVP, 3 regular season MVP. I mean, you can say Curry's a fantastic scorer, or, you know, often I gotta admit, underrated, you know, that aspect of his game, but Magic's arguably the greatest playmaker, or the greatest, like when you think about point guard in general in the NBA, you think about Magic. So, I don't know what else to say to you, or for you to understand, you know? Please, man, help your man, dying.
I think in terms of leadership, as in some leaders need the light to shine and others are willing to cede the spotlight. And I feel like the one thing that Stephen Curry has over Magic Johnson is I don't think Magic Johnson can thrive without drama or the spotlight, even showing like what he did with the Lakers. What kind of person would say, oh, Jeannie Buss is my sister, and yet go to the media before talking to her? I feel like sometimes behind closed doors he would bring a toxic air into his relationships. So for me, that kind of brings into question his leadership skills. Steph Curry, on the other hand, has no problem ceding the spotlight, as he did when Kevin Durant came. But even then, everyone knew that Steph Curry was the leader, and that even Kevin Durant would admit, yeah, like I can't do anything without Curry. Curry is what makes this system go.
So sad, man. You have to bring that. We're talking about Magic Johnson as a player, not as a general manager. What he did as a general manager, everybody agreed, was bad, right? But at the same time, as a man, you're given a job to do, then people talks about you behind your back, and yeah, I understand that ego, all that stuff. But what he did, I mean, I'm a Lakers fan. It hurt my heart, but we're talking about Magic as a player. You're looking for those little things, you know.
No, when I'm looking for these things, I mean this is just a show of his character. It's not like character changes over time. This is a show of his character, and this is just another like a glimpse at that.
Let me ask you this.
When Kevin Durant was saying all these things about Stephen Curry, oh, they loved him, this and this, not once did you see him make any kind of snide remark or any kind of comments because he's above that.
No, he needed KD to get him that chips. That's why he was.
He had a ring before KD came, and after KD left, when KD was making all his remarks regarding Stephen Curry, the Golden State Warriors, their organization, Curry made no remarks because he doesn't snide like that. Magic Johnson, on the other hand, was making remarks about people, and since they were above that, they made no responses back to him. But I believe that Curry is a better leader than Magic Johnson is.
Oh no! You're killing me with this, man. Okay, you never put the key to your happiness in somebody else's pocket, right? You heard that before, right? You know, when LeBron came, they were so scared, like, yo, KD, can you please play for us, man? We can't beat the king. You know, Magic didn't say that. Even at his worst, man. You know what?
Magic Johnson had the luxury of playing with the greatest scorer of all time.
So is Curry.
When I say greatest scorer of all time, I'm talking about greatest scorer of all time. Ever, period, full stop, right? No debate.
I don't know how to make this clear for you to understand. I mean, I can give you the pen and the paper. You can take it home, write some note. But Magic is, you know, when you think about, like, when you see something great, you say he's the Michael Jordan of this, right? Right? Magic's in the same level as that, right? When you see some crazy, like, unusual, oh my goodness, like a Magic Johnson to this, you don't say he's a Steph Curry of this.
Whenever kids are shooting paper balls in the trash can or shooting deep threes, the day of saying Kobe is gone.
It's like he compared
what they say now is Curry. You shoot that ball, what you saying when you step in the court? You saying Curry. You jack that three up, you saying Curry.
Okay. You know how great, okay, as a coach or as a general manager, as a fan, you want your point guard to do everything. As a point guard, your job is to make sure to put all your teammate in the right place to score, right? Rebound, defend, be a great leader, right? Sometimes, you know, I remember Kobe was saying, because, you know, I tell people to do this and that, and I felt like some of my teammates didn't like me, right? Curry's the type of person doesn't say nothing because he doesn't want people to hate him. Magic's the type of person who will tell you, I want you to go down there, get me a bucket, or get that ball, you know, this and that. That, to me, it's like you're comparing a Ferrari to a Fiat. So, like, every stat except scoring, Magic's better.
I feel like another argument that I can make for Curry over Magic Johnson is, as great as Magic Johnson was, he didn't change the way the game Curry did. Curry is now revolutionizing the way basketball is played.
The Golden State team, not Curry.
No, when I say that,
be specific.
Okay, look at guys like Trae Young, Luka Doncic, right? There's more and more children when people play basketball now, especially younger kids, more of diminutive stature, they're not saying, oh, I want to be like Magic Johnson. No, what they're saying is, I want to be like Curry. The thing is now, when Curry came in, when he became an MVP, when he became a champion, he showed that you don't have to win the genetic lotteries like a guy like LeBron or a Magic Johnson, because those guys really are, they hit the lottery when it comes to genetics. They're not going to be another one of those guys because you're not going to get those same genes. But Curry showed you don't have to have those kind of genetics as long as you have the work ethic to put in, and you put the craft and time into your craft. Now look at a guy like Trae Young. He went in the top 5 of the draft, but go back a couple years ago, he might not even been in the lottery because of his size. But now if you look at it, because of his shooting ability, because of the range, more and more players are going to be like Curry. When scouts look at players now, they don't say, oh, look at his athleticism, this and that. They ask, how's his shooting ability? Will it translate to the next level? A guard, Colin Sexton, drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers, I believe, like 2 or 3 years ago. The number one thing they were asking about him before he was drafted is, can he shoot the ball at an NBA level? And when he came in, that was one of the first things he worked on. And that's, so many things are that because of the Curry effect. Do you have anything to say?
Well, I was taking a nap when you were talking. I'm sorry, man. That was boring, man. Oh my goodness. You know, okay. Whenever you think about like great players, you know, that can adapt any situation, right? So whatever your team need, that's what they do, right? So case in point, Game 6, 1980, the NBA Final. Magic plays center. He's a point guard, plays center, earn the Final MVP. I mean, he can't get more clutch than that. I mean, when you think about a player that do everything to help his team win, to me, that's that's the greatest player. And what Magic brought to the team, I mean, if you really talk about Steph Curry, he's a great scorer. Nobody arguing that, right? Arguably the greatest shooter. I can't. Nah.
Who's a better shooter than Steph Curry?
I mean, Ray Allen.
No.
I'm not saying he's better.
Total threes made, yeah, but that record's gonna get broken.
What about Reggie Miller? He was at his prime. He was clutch. You have to put Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson might be the greatest catch and shoot 3-point shooter of all time, and he might be the greatest hot and cold shooter of all time, because when he's hot, there's nothing like a Klay Thompson.
38 points.
37 points in a quarter. He doesn't like Klay Thompson is the greatest hot and cold shooter of all time, because when he gets hot, it's over. There's literally nothing you can do about it. He barely touches the ball. That's like the second piece. You can go on any team and still make a difference.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna put you to bed. I'm gonna just finish you right now, man. When you think about Magic, that supernatural force that to make impossible thing happen, right? When he can't find a bucket, he just throw the ball to Magic. I mean, you see the highlight, you see the clips, right? It's like people line up to, sometimes people line up a day ahead to watch a movie. People probably line up a week ahead to get that ticket to go see the Magic Man. I'm sorry to say this, man. I hope people who listen in this or who's at home bored, this and that, just please send a comment. Help my brother out, man. He's at that moment. He's at the end. Help him out. I don't know what else to say to help you understand. It's just 2 days in a row. I cooked yet.
This is the Odd.bos Power Sports Podcast. This was our debate about the two greatest point guards of their era.
We also have two great segments coming out. One of them is called Cook Off.
Yeah, we bring two guests. In. I'll be the arbitrator. And they're going to debate their points. And it's going to be on the UFC.
And we also have another one coming out very, very soon. We're just working on a few details. It's called Street Talk. Where we ask random people about their favorite team or their favorite player. And the question provided by our subscriber. So look out for that. Until then, we wish you a great day, great night. Until next time.
You can find us on Instagram at the.odd.bos. And you can also find us anywhere you follow your podcasts at the Odd.bos Powwow. What else, Momshi? All right.